I'm learning a lot, man. The last month, I've really been diving in on trying to create as large of a volume of high quality educational content as I can. Part of that has been making uh, every day I have like a funny meme or a meme that I think is funny that goes up on YouTube and as a short and on Instagram. But then there's generally 3 to 4 other videos that post as shorts on both of those platforms, including Facebook. So I'm putting a lot of energy into trying to see how shorts can grow my platforms. What I found is that it's really growing my Instagram. I've gotten probably like 650 subs in the last 30 days on Instagram, which for a smaller account like, oh, smaller, I mean, I've got, is it 5,300 on Instagram right now. And, you know, for a niche, 5,400, baby, just hit it. 54. For a niche creator like me, that's good, but I'm really growing fast. Again, like 650 in the last 30 days, which has been awesome. So that increased posting on those platforms has really helped me. Again, if you follow me on any of those things, it really does help if you like and share them. So please just consider doing that, especially if you don't have the scratch to support me. That's a great way to be able to do it, because I do a lot of research on this side of things, on the social media side of things. And from an algorithm standpoint, that's how Instagram is really pushing things, is through the shares. Okay. So whether you're sharing to your story or to the homies, it really, really helps me, and keep liking and everything like that as well. But I'm kind of pacing, like I pace right now for, probably at a minimum, I'm going to get 5 million views on the content that I'm putting on Instagram, which is a lot and valuable. So people out there that are business owners, allied members, different things like that, I have a really unique platform for you to be able to advertise your products. So hit me up on that. I'm going to get another 750,000 views on YouTube. And so let me know, man. I create a lot of video content, and I get a lot of eyeballs on it. So that would be maybe something very beneficial for your business. But I feel like I'm trying to build my skills as a podcaster. I heard this joke earlier a couple weeks ago, and it blew my mind. It was a Norm Macdonald joke. And I feel as if I've heard a lot of Norm Macdonald jokes, but every once in a while, you get one that you haven't heard before, and I'm going to amend it to fit my situation. For the record, I think this is funny. I feel like podcasters look at me like vampires look at Count Chocula. I think that's funny. I think there is like a little bit of imposter syndrome with somebody who is, so like I'm going to do, 50 some, I'm going to do a weekly podcast this year. That's a lot of podcasts. And then sometimes I find myself apologizing for my speech patterns, or, my filler words and different things that I feel as if make me, less professional. But since this is Career Corner and we're talking about like, career and personal growth, that's really something that I'm working on getting rid of. Podcasts can be a relatively informal medium. And, I do want to get better, but also I don't need to be taking shots at myself live on air when I do it. So that's kind of like the last joke, right? The way vampires look at Count Chocula. I think that's hilarious. I think he was talking about actors because somebody called him an actor. Norm, that is. But, just really focus on trying to get better at what I'm doing from a content standpoint. So things look and sound better, but also to have high quality content for all of you. So again, whether you are a home brewer, a pro brewer, you are in sales for a company, spread the stuff around, man. It'll really help me keep doing it, because I'm going to crank out a lot of killer content for all of you this year. So what else? I'm working on learning how to listen when I'm doing these interviews, which can be a little bit of a juggle because you're asking a question, listening to the answer, and then, sometimes there's follow-up questions off of what they're saying, but also trying to keep the framework of the conversation moving. So that's something that I'm growing with, and I'm finding that it just takes time and practice. So that's been, pretty rewarding. And it is also adjustment for when I'm doing the interview type stuff. When I did the Dallam, the CO2 recovery one, Sebago was the other brewery that was on there. I was interviewing 3 people at once, 4-part screen. And it was the first time I interviewed 3 people at once. And so there's the worry of, all right, how is this going to work from a technology standpoint? Is the audio going to be bad? If 2 people talk at once, is the audio going to dump? There's all those thoughts going through your head, but then also trying to make sure that the different people involved are being able to contribute to the conversation. So anyways, it's been enjoyable. But that's really the career corner stuff. I might add one more thing. I sometimes like to beat myself up as being a work from home person now. 3 days a week, I'm still full-time dad, but some days I'll put in, 12 to 14 hours and crank out tons and tons of work. And that's great, like when that energy is there. But sometimes I beat myself up when the next day I am not as productive. And my wife is helping me understand, because she's amazing, that I need to kind of take the ebb and flow of my natural creative bursts to, be all right with that. So yeah, that's really it. I did do a podcast. I went downtown Cincinnati Business Podcast, and the Cincinnati Podcast Studio. If you are in the area and you have a business or are just, have your side hustle or whatever, and you want to do a podcast, it's an awesome studio to get it and then work with. They have high quality video, audio, editing. They will do it all for you. Very, very cool. They interviewed me for their Cincinnati Business Podcast, and that was a lot of fun. That won't be going up until maybe later this month. But I'll be sharing some of that stuff out there as well. So if you are interested in, like kind of the business side of things that I do, and it focuses particularly on the content creation stuff, you can check that out as well. But other than that, that is the Career Corner.